So let us see how to create data frame from series. The next one is creation of data frames with using series. So you can create one or more series and you can just add those series into a data frame. You can make that into a data frame. So let us just create a few series such as S1 is equal to pd dot series. Of course you have to import pandas as pd, and then in the series you can just place values 1 2 3 4 5, like that. You can place as many as values. You can place the index also, the row index, and you can name those index as A, B, C, D, like that. So this is the first series, and then you can create another series, pd dot series, and here you can just put 100 200 400 600, as much as value you can just put over here. Okay, so here also I'm taking 5 values, and then index, you have to take the index as same as that of that you mentioned in the first series. The name should be same, otherwise a new column will be added or new things will be started, right? If the indexes are not same, it will lead to adding of new columns. So if the names of the indexes are okay, same, that means new columns will not be added, the existing column will be used, and the values for this particular series will be added. Otherwise new columns will be started. We'll see that in practical. So S1 and S2, these are the two series that we have defined. We can have another series so that we can have 3 columns. So pd dot series, and here I can just write -10, -20, -30, -40, and 200, say for example. And then your index can be like this, A, B, C, D, or you can have a different index. Say for example, if you want to place another index, say apart from A, B, C, D, you want to place X, Y, Z. So X and Y. So let us see what will happen. Let us create a data frame using S1, S2, S3. So CZ df is equal to pd dot data frame, and here you have to pass what? Multiple series you can pass, so you can just pass all of them at a time, or one at a time, or two at a time. As many as columns you want to add into the data frame, that many columns, that many numbers of series you can pass as a list. So list of series, so S1, S2 and S3 I'm passing here. Okay, so list of series I'm passing like this. Now can you tell me what will be the output if I'm going to print df? what will be the output if I'm going to print df? Because this is the whole series. You have 5 elements each, but since that we have mentioned the indexes as differently, we have differently labeled the indexes, so one should observe what is happening. What will
There will
happen?
be there will be 7 indexes A, B, C, D, E, X, Y, and the numbers. The first row will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, the first column, and then items will be accordingly. There will be 7 indexes.
So a b c d x y, and then within it the first series is having 5 values for a b c d and e. So they will go here 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, and what about x and y for this particular series? No values
NaN.
are there, no values are there, so nan. Then what will happen to the next series, that is s2? We will have 100 200 400 600 and 700, and again nan will be there. And then for the last one we have -10 -20 -30 -40 200 for ABC. So for ABC -10 -20 and -30 will come, but for D and E the third series don't have any value. So for D and E here will be NaN and NaN, because you can see that in the third series we have only what? We have only A, B, C as the column which were earlier declared, and there are new columns X and Y. So for D and E, that particular series will have no value. So NaN, and again then we will have for X and Y we are having -40 and 200. So this will be the output as usual, that as required. This particular output will be seen while we are going to create that series data frame using multiple series. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so ultimately you should be understanding that the column names are very important. If you are indexing them, then the spelling of the column is also very important. If what would happen if I am going to make this as a capital A instead of a small a? Can you tell what would happen if I am going to change it to a capital A instead of small a?
It would have another index form.
Yeah, there will be another one index, new index with capital A. So even the spellings are important. A minor difference in spelling will lead to a new column. Okay, so that is what you have to remember. The names of the column labels, the index labels, sorry, the row labels must be, the names must be, okay, they must be holded correctly. They must be holded correctly, otherwise new columns will be added. New columns will be added to it. So now let us see how is it correct or not by executing the code. Let us execute the code. Let us execute the code. I hope this is visible. Creating data frames using series, and then we have S1 is equal to import pandas as PD. This one is equal to PD dot series, and here you will pass A B C D E, and then we have S2 equal to PD dot series, and you can pass here 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and here you can pass index equal to say A, B, C and D and E, and S3 is equal to PD dot series, and then you can pass index equal to A, B, C, D, E. Instead of D and E, I will just take X and Y. So let us see what will happen if I am going to create a data frame as, and here I am passing S1, S2 and S3. Let us run the code. So value of the length pass is, value error is coming 4. I think we have done some mistake. Okay, 4 values we have passed and it has 5 indexes. So mismatch in values and index should not be there. Now you see, as we have assumed whatever whatever output we have assumed, this is showing the same, right? This is showing the same, isn't it? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, these names are there, row names are there, and then we are having these values over it. So this is okay, this is gone. Now let us move on to the next thing. Let us move on to the next creation, that is creating data frame from dictionary of series. Now these were simple series we have passed to the data frame, right? Multiple series. Now what if I want to supply a dictionary of series? So let us creating data frame using dictionary of series. Dictionary of series. Now dictionary of series can also be used for creating the data frame. Let us create a data frame using dictionaries of series. Let us, for example, make this one as series. Let us calculate the marks obtained by 3 or 4 students in different exams, say unit test 1, unit test 2, and half yearly and annual. So how to do that? First we have to create a dictionary in which we will create series. So let us create that. So let us create a dictionary of series. So let us create a dictionary first to keep the result. So import pandas as pd, and then result is equal to, here we have to start a dictionary, and the keys will be the names of the students whose results we want to generate, or roll number, or maybe their roll number, and the values will be the series. The values will be the series of values or subjects, exams. So we can have Mohit, who is having pd dot series. Here you can pass the marks obtained by Mohit in three different exams. In UT1, how much he has got? Say for example, in UT1 he has got 45. In UT2 he has got 47. In Haveli he has got 62. In annual he has got 65. Okay, and then we have to define the index. So index is equal to the name of the tests. So UT1, UT2, half yearly, and session ending. So this is the first item in the dictionary. The next item will be for the next person. So series will be closed here. So Rishabh, again you have to create a series with the marks obtained by Rishabh in various tests. Okay, and you can write here index again, UT1, UT2, half yearly, and session ending. So this series is empty here, and then comma. Again you can have another one, Sunita, pd dot series 18, 40, 62, and 65. And then again index equal to UT1, UT2, half yearly, and session ending. Okay, and then you can just close down. After entering the results of these three students, dictionary is closed. Now what if you want to print this dictionary. So this is the dictionary where you have made use of series as a values inside the dictionary. The dictionary has key as the names of the student and values as the series. Okay, and now what you want to do is you want to print this particular as a data frame. So what you have to do, you have made only dictionary, you have not converted it yet into the data frame. So you have to write data frame is equal to pd dot data frame, and here you have to pass that dictionary, the name of that dictionary, that is result. Okay, so it will create the result for this one, the result for this particular data frame. So now can you tell me what will be the output and how this output will be shown, how this output will be shown here? What will be the columns, what will be the column headings and the row headings? Can you tell me what will become the row heading and what will become the column heading? That is very, very important. Listen, whenever dictionary is used, is used, the keys becomes columns. Always keys always becomes columns. So these names of the students will become the columns of the data frame, and the tests will become what is known as your indexes of the rows. So row index will be the tests and the column index will be the names of the students. So output will be something like this: UT1, UT2, half yearly and session ending exam. And here you will have the first boy Mohit and his marks will be there. Then the second boy Rishabh, his marks will be there, and Sunita, her marks will be there. So here it will come 18, 40, 62 and 65, and then you have 27, 35, 55, 27, 35, 55 and 50, and then you have 45, 47, 62, 45, 47, 62 and 65. So this is what we have. This will be the data frame which will be used. Okay, so this will be shown as you are going to make a series, make a data frame using dictionary of series. So this is also very, very important. You can create a data frame using dictionary of series. That means you can keep series as multiple values of the dictionary, whereas keys will resemble the keys of the dictionary will be converted into the columns of the data frame. Okay, so this has to be remembered, and you can execute this code. This will give the output as usual, whatever we have assumed. So now let us what are the columns of each of them? Each column is what? Each column is made up of, here in this table, the data frame, each column is made up of a series, a particular series, right? The values of a particular series. So each one column is one series, whereas the names of the indexes will be the row indexes associated with it. So this is very, very important here to understand. So data type will be, the data type of the columns will be series only. Okay, if you are going to find the type of the column, if you want to print the type of the column, say suppose you want to print this one, what will happen if I am going to write this code? If I am going to write this code, what will happen? What will be the output? Print df dot, sorry, if I am writing print type of df dot Mohit, because Mohit is now the column name, no? So I can use the name Mohit like this, df dot Mohit. We did not use the string here because it now becomes the column name for the data frame. So what will be the type of this? What output will be shown? What will be the output for this? Here Mohit is what? It is a column of the series. It is a column of the series and the column of the data frame. Sorry. And what it is made up of? It is made up of a series. So the data type will be a series only. So it will be of a series type. So the output will be something like this. Remember, the output will be pandas dot core dot series dot capital S series, the name of the object. So this will be the output of this code. So if you are going to print the type of this column, it will be shown as pandas dot core dot series dot series. Okay, so this is what we have. Now let us create another series. Say for example, if I am going to, what will happen if I am having different column names, different indexes name? Suppose in this same example, if I am going to keep UT1, UT2, UT1, UT2 and half yearly is okay for these two. But here in the third case, if I am writing UT1, UT2, UT3 and UT4 instead of half yearly and SEE, what will happen? In place of, my question is, in place of here half yearly, if I am writing UT3 and here in place of SEE, I am writing UT4 for the last person, Sunita, then what will happen to the result? What will happen to the result? What will happen to the result if I am writing two new columns along with the others? UT1 and UT2 remains the same, but I am writing UT3 and UT4. What will happen? We have seen it, no? If I am going to write new columns, those new columns will be added. Two new rows will be added, isn't it? So what changes it will make? What changes it will make to the result? It will just add here two more columns, UT3 and UT4, and for Sunita these two will be removed. These two will be removed from here and it will come down here. This one and this one will be coming here and this one will be coming here, right? And these two values will be, for Sunita, these two values will be NaN and NaN. The 62 will come here and the 65 will come here. And for other also, these UT3 and UT4 will be NaN and NaN, right? So like this it will change if I am going to add two more new columns. So that is always there, you should remember it. Now let us move on to the, so this is all about creating data frames using different techniques, that is list of arrays, and then a list of series, and then dictionary of lists, dictionaries of lists, right? And then lists of dictionaries, and then dictionaries of series, and then we have this one, last one. Okay, so this is very, very important to understand how, in how many different ways you can create a data frame using different other data structures of Python. Okay, so that's all about creating the data frame. Now let us move on to the next topic, that is about accessing the rows and column attributes. Rows and column attributes of the data frame. So now we are concentrated on operations on rows and columns of data frame. So let us continue with this topic, operations on rows and columns of data frame. So rows and columns will have their own set of operations in data frame that one need to know. You can delete, you can insert, you can rename, you can select, you can add rows and columns. So what are the operations? Let us see what are the operations. The following operations can be done. Can be done on data frame. On data frame row and columns. What are these operations? Number A, addition of new column oblique row, deletion of column oblique row. Third is selection and renaming. Renaming of rows and columns. So these are the 4 operations you can perform on rows and columns of a data frame. Now whenever you are making data frame, you should be having these operations coming in your way every now and then, because you need to add few more rows or columns as and when new data comes, right? So let us understand and let us see the syntax for addition first. So let us start with adding new column. To our data frame. So how to add new column to a data frame? It's easy to add a new column to data frame. Means you already have a data frame and you need to add a new one new column to that particular existing data frame. Say for example, we have a result set. We have a result set. In our previous slide, we have seen that we have a result set of 3 students, Mohit, Rishabh and Sunita. I want to add one more column for another student, say for example Shriya. I want to add one more column for you. So how to do it? So in our previous result data frame, so we have seen how to add a new column into that existing data frame. Now let us add a new row into the existing data frame. So adding a new row into our data frame. So that is our next topic, adding a new row into data frame. So column addition is okay, it's just like adding a key to a dictionary. So adding a new row into the data frame is also important. How to add a new row? by using, we have to use loc method or location method or location attribute. Okay, so we have to use LOC method, location method, and using that particular location method we can add, not a method actually, attribute, location attribute, LOC. So we can add a new row to an existing data frame using LOC attribute, LOC attribute of the data frame. Now how does this LOC attribute of the data frame looks like? What is the syntax for using this particular LOC data frame? It's quite easy to add. So using LOC you can add a new row to the existing data frame. So how to do that? The syntax is data frame name dot LOC, that means location, the location of, and here you will write the index. That index is equal to, in the list you will supply the values. The values for all columns, values for all columns, for all columns. For example, let us add one more row into our result data frame. We have seen the result data frame in our last slide. We have seen the result data frame where we have created result sheet for 4 students. Each students were having the data about the 4 exams they have attempted, that is the UT1, UT2, half yearly and session ending. Apart from that, I want to add one more new row. That means row means here the exam. One more new exam I want to add, and that is UT3. UT3 I want to add. So I can use the loc location attribute to insert a new index, because the name of the exam is the index itself, the new index into the particular existing data frame. The exam name will become the new index, the UT3, and then values for each of the column has to be supplied for that particular row, because the index is UT3. So you have to supply the marks obtained by all the students for whom the data is already available in the data frame in UT3. That means the marks for the first student, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. All the students' marks in this particular UT3 will be given as a value for the columns. So what is the example? The example will be, we will have to write df, the name of our data frame was df dot loc, and here you have to just supply UT3, say for example, is equal to, and then how many students we have added? 4 students were there. So let us add one more, let us add all data for UT3 for all of them. The first student in UT3 got, and UT3 is out of 50, say for example, the first student got 27, the second student in UT3 got 29, the third student in UT3 got, say for example, 40, and the last student in UT3 got 35. So you have to supply all these things to make a new column, a new row. So let us now execute this code and see whether this is working or not. Let us go to the idle and then let us run the code. So here it was, we were executing this code, and we found that this particular output was generated when we are going to execute this particular program. Okay, we have to open it in .8. Yes. Now let us run. Yeah. So this is, now I want to add one more exam into this particular table called UT3. So how to do that? It's quite easy. Simply you have to write here print df at ut3, sorry, df.loc at ut3 will be equal to, and you have to give what? You have to give the pass the values for all the students. For all the students, every value has to be passed. So for, we have 4 students, so 4 data needs to be passed. We have 4 columns, so for each of them we have to supply the values. So say for example 30, 23, and then 45, and then 29, say for example. And then let us just print df and see what happens. We have used the LOC method, LOC attribute. Now you see here, we have added successfully, we have added UT3 with all the students having their marks obtained in UT3. So this was supplied, this list of values were supplied, and they are respectively, they have been allotted to the respective students, 4 students respectively, right? So this is the way how you add a new row into a data frame using LOC attribute. It's not method, attribute. With LOC you have to pass index, the new index which you want to create, the name of the new index which you want to create, Okay, so this is very important point to understand here. Now can you tell me what will be the output if I am writing like this, something like this? Yeah, you just tell me what will be the output if I am writing something like this. Print, and after this I am writing here df at Aman is equal to, df at Aman is equal to 55. If I am writing like this and then print df, what will happen? Can you tell? What will happen? If this is the code, and if I am going to write df at Aman is equal to 55, I am using the name, I am using the column name which already exists in the data frame. So this way you are informing the compiler that you want to change the value for that particular column, but you have supplied only one value, because there are 5 rows now. There are 5 rows now. Instead of 4, there are 5 rows now. So what will happen if you are writing df at Aman equal to 55? In that way, what will happen? The 55, this value 55 will be allotted to, all the unit tests of Aman. for all exams attempted by Yaman, the value will be 55. So let us see what happens when we execute this code. See here what happened. All the marks obtained by Yaman became 55. You can observe that Aman has got 55 in UT1, got 55 in UT2, got 55 in Hafeli, got 55 in SEC, and got 55 in UT3 also. So if you are going to assign a single value to a particular column in a data frame, then all the rows under that column will be initialized with this particular value. Every row will be initialized with this particular value 55. So this has to be remembered. Okay. Now what will happen if I am writing here, instead of in LOC, no, the use of LOC, in LOC if I am writing here index, instead of writing the name of the UT tests or exams, if I am writing 0 or 1, what will happen? Say, sorry, for example, if I am writing here print